Hi and welcome. I'm trying to learn space science today, comets and comet clouds. And after we've done that, we're going to do stretching. And if you participate in the stretching, then it's better to ask. We have come to the final class of objects in the Sun's family, the comets. We had some types of planets and I think also asteroids and satellites. Now we're having comets. Perhaps the most famous is Halley's Comet, named after the astronomer who correctly calculated its orbit. Okay, there's one comet which a lot of people are talking about, and that is the comet named Halley's Comet, and it's named after, I think, William Halley. And Halley examined historical sightings and realized that what had been assumed to be several comets was in fact one object returning every 76 years. I believe what he did was that he looked at people telling, maybe someone has written down in the diary in 1624, I saw a comet, and then he saw then 76 years later in the year 1700, where someone has written, I've seen a comet. And then another person had written in 1776, there's a comet. And now William Halley said, it can't be every time a different one. That is every time the same. It happens every 76 years with a few people saying they have seen a comet. And then he said, that is the same one. So 1776, and we said, then in 1852, I think is it now. In 1852 will it return. Now, comets, Halley proved, are like planets. They orbit the sun with strict periodicity. Now, here said that William Halley, I think it's William, said comets work like planets. They circling around the sun in orbits. Like asteroids, comets are relicts of a solar nebula, but their compositions are different. So we're saying comets have a different composition. They are made of more residual. Asteroids formed close to the sun, so they are stony or metallic, whereas comets were fashioned further out, where ice dominates. Probes have shown comets to be dirty snowballs, loosely packed chunks of ice mixed with grit and riddled with holes. They measure a few hundred meters to a few tens of kilometers across, much smaller than the largest asteroid. So, asteroids formed close to the sun, where the asteroid belt is between Mars and Jupiter. That is quite close to the sun already. But the asteroids are quite close to the sun. He was also said that the terrestrial planets, Earth and Mars, and I think also Venus and Mercury, they are all closer to the sun. So there it's more rocky, because all the ice most close to the sun, they are most warm. And now these comets came about further away from the sun. They are more out of ice than asteroids, more out of rocks. When far from the sun, comets are dark and difficult to spot. But because their orbits are highly elliptical, they can approach the sun closely. Slowly, they are not going. The orbit of a comet is more elliptical, something like that. It's not a circle. Also, the Earth is not a perfect circle around the sun, but comets have it way more like that. So they're sometimes very far away from the sun, and then very close when the sun is far away and then closer. Slowly, the surface ices start to boil, enshrouding the comet in a giant cloud called a coma. Then it's far away from the sun, and the ice stays more or less at the comet. But if it's close to the sun, then that is what I understand now, then the ice melts and it starts to form a cloud around it. And that is called the coma. Now two forces come into play. The first is radiation pressure, the push exerted by sunlight itself. The second is the solar wind, subatomic particles blustering outwards from the sun. These forces push the coma gases deep into space to form a long, glowing tail downstream of the sun. the hallmark of a comet. Some tails can stretch for tens of millions of kilometers. Okay, I still don't really understand that, but I have read about that previously. Now that I understand it a bit more. Okay, there's the radiation pressure of the sun. That seems to be the sunlight itself. The sun has to have for the sun radiation pressure, for the sunlight radiation pressure. I don't really get that, but it's just the sunlight. And when there are solar winds, there's suddenly a blast or something, and that blasts now, because the comet is quite close, the ice of the coma, the cloud of the comet far out into space. And that is invisible as a tail. But I don't really understand it. Some comets, like the Halley one, have short orbits, circling the sun every few dozen years. The Halley comet every 76 years. Others take thousands of years, spending much of their life at great distances from the solar system hub. To astronomers, this suggests that long-period comets hail from a vast spherical reservoir known as the Oort cloud that surrounds the solar system. It is perhaps 100,000 astronomical units across. If it exists, as seems likely, the Oort cloud could be home to trillions of inactive comets. Now, how can they be inactive? Whatever. They're saying far out into space, there could be a region, and so they can specify a bit more, give it a name. We're calling it the Oort region, the Oort cloud. And that could be the place where comets are, because we're saying we know that some comets come. The Halley comet comes every 76 years, but there are other comets which are far more away from the sun. They come only every 100 years, every 1,000, every 10,000, every million years. Now it's not possible to observe them. No one has really time to wait a million years. And so we're saying, if you're already seeing these ones return every 76 or 100 years, there must be some that return every 1,000, 10,000 million years. We just can't see them. And other people saying that they might be out there in that place. They're coming from time to time. I don't know what we mean of inactive. I would just say they are just there. They just need a long time to come back. Question is like, would it be possible that such a comet has too much force and gets forced out of its orbit? No, whatever. That was what we read here about the comets. If you were here for space science, you can go directly to the next part of space science. If you stay here and participate in the stretching, then it's better at your own risk. We're having the feet standing together, and now we're going to move on to the side, and with the other to the side. Now heel out, and with the other line. The toes, and the toes, heel, and heel. Only as far as you can go around. And a few more. And now we're coming in again. And now we're staying down, so going to the knees. We're staying with the head on the same height out. That was the routine 3. Now the next exercise. The legs a bit wide apart and breathing in and lifting the arms up. And breathe out, go out to one side. Breathe in back into the middle. And out over to the other side. In into the middle. Out the arms down. Now breathe in. And out of one hand slides down the leg and the other shoulder stays down. Again in. And out and take one arm over. Breathe in and down the rib cage. And breathe out, come back. Breathe again in. And out the other hand slides down the leg, the other leg, and the shoulder stays down. Breathe again in. And out and take one arm over. Breathe in and down the rib cage. And breathe out back into the middle. Now let the feet stand together. Breathe in and lift the arms up. And breathe out, bring one hand down. Breathe in and reach into both directions. Breathe again, one hands up. Again in, reach high. And breathe out, the other hand down. Breathe in and reach. And out, one hand up and both down. And now, hip width apart and go a bit down into the knees and flex the leg muscles. Press with the legs a bit together. You don't have to overdo it. And now straighten one leg. Slowly press together, flex the legs over. Leg in the middle, press together, flex the legs, and straighten the other leg again. Hold on. Press together, flex, and bend it again. And now something similar, a bit wider apart, a bit down into the knees. Flex again the legs and press them together, and now straighten one leg and go up to the leg. And into the middle, press together, flex the legs. Out to the other side, bend the other knee. Press together, flex, and straighten again, bending it, and up. And now also the other way around, stand, press to the outside. And now just normal standing and do shoulder circles. Go back, up, and round, and down, again back, up, and down, and in front, up, back, and down, and again in front, back, and down. Now breathe in and lift the shoulders up. And breathe out, lift the foot out. Again in. And out and down. Now breathe in, lift the arms up. And reach always with one arm high up. Pretend to take an apple hanging high on an apple branch. To turn it a bit around and then to plug it out. Now, legs wide apart, arms up to a T, breathe again in. And breathe out, shift over to one side. Again in, again to the left. Look up to the other. Again in. And out, we're leaning onto the knees. Breathe again in. And breathe out, bring one shoulder around. In and back. Out the other one in front. In and back. And out in front. In and back. And out by the front. In and back. And out and hanging down. Just keep hanging down. Breathe again in from the nose into the chest. And breathe out from the mouth. And in. Again. And out over to one leg. Breathe in. And out over to the other one. Breathe again. And out into the middle. Close the feet. But we keep on hanging down. Breathe again in. And out. Now we're coming slowly around back up and making it to the backwards shoulder up. Now have the toes pointing to the outside and an ulnar length space between the heels. Breathe in, lift the arms up. And breathe out and sink down and place the elbows against the inside of the knees. Breathe in and straighten up. And breathe out and come to the back up. Breathe again in. And breathe out again down. Breathe in and straighten up. And breathe out another time up with the back. Breathe again in. And out again down. Breathe in and straighten up. And breathe out and come slowly in one straight line upwards. And hands down. And now the seahorse pose. Have a good standing leg. Place the heel of the mobile leg on top of the knee of a standing leg. Breathe again in. Do this only if you can do it without injuring yourself, and out and sinking down. And back. And now the same on the other side. Knee on top of the knee, and heel on top of the knee. Breathe in. And out and go down. And we're coming up again. And we're closing. The legs wide apart, we're breathing in, going down. And breathe out. Again in. And out. One more time. In. And out. in it. Out and down. Breathe in and close the legs. And breathe in and out. It was with stretching. Thank you very much, and next time.